Welcome everyone to another video. This is another post from the Reddit sub called "The End Implies the Means." People panic when things don't go according to plan. They have certain expectations about how, when, where their desire or outcome will manifest, and then when those expectations aren't met, they assume something has gone wrong. We could define this as a lack of faith or an inability to persist in the state of the wish fulfilled, but both those definitions imply a lack of willpower. Really though, willpower isn't the issue at hand here. If we just clear up one common misunderstanding, we can do away with 99% of faith issues immediately. Imagine having a time machine that can transport you to an indeterminate point 12 to 24 months in the future. You step inside, press some buttons, hear some machinery whirring, and then step out to find yourself on a beach at a tropical resort. After this, you immediately return to the present day with the knowledge that at some point in the next year or two, you will be on a beach at a tropical resort. Because your time machine never malfunctions, you know this with 100% certainty. With this information, and this information only, could you then go and tell somebody in exactly 18 months to the day, I am taking a flight to Bali for a 2-week vacation that I'll pay for using the extra money I made from my Christmas bonus? No. Of course not. Just because you know with 100% certainty that some experience will come to pass doesn't mean that you can make whatever assumptions you'd like about the how, when, where it'll come to pass. Just because you saw yourself on a beach resort doesn't mean you know where that beach is, when you'll be visiting that beach, and how you will have gotten there. It's a blind assumption to say that your trip will occur in 18 months when it could occur at any point in the next 12 to 24 months. It's a blind assumption to say you'll be flying there and not arriving by cruise ship. It's a blind assumption to say that the beach is in Bali and not in Tahiti. It's a blind assumption to say that the trip will be funded by money you made and not something you won in a radio contest. You just don't know any of that information, but you also don't have to worry about that information. The end implies the means. The fact that you saw your future self on a beach implies that somehow, some way, you're going to end up there. You should think of manifestation the same way. The end always implies the means. If you access a certain state with the understanding that you're going to experience that state via manifestation at some point in the future, then you can rest easy knowing the details of how your desired experience will come to pass are unimportant. If you panic because it seems as if things are not developing how they need to be, that means you must have certain expectations as to how your desired outcome will play out. Those expectations are baseless though. You didn't choose to access the state of your desired being en route to fulfillment. You chose to access the state of it being fulfilled. Having expectations about how, when, where your desire will be fulfilled is like ordering an entree and then expecting an appetizer. Why would that be your expectation when it isn't what you ordered? Manifestation is simple. You get what you pay for. The states you choose to embody are what eventually come to pass. Anything intermediary that occurs is not your concern. If I book a trip to Finland, I don't have any right to melt down when my plane stops at Sweden and I'm told to board a connecting flight. I paid to visit Finland, not to not visit Sweden on the way there. When things seem like they aren't going your way, make sure to remind yourself that you paid for a very specific end outcome, but not for a detailed path en route to that outcome. Just relax and remember that the end implies the means. You'll get where you want to go so long as you don't cancel your order. As always, good luck. Yeah, interesting post. You know, my girlfriend actually talks about this all the time. She says that like using an ABC format, if you know you're gonna get to C, if you think of C, then you don't need to worry about B. And that's kind of like what this reminds me of. I mean, yeah, if you know what C is, then you don't need to know exactly about B. I would say that, and in Transurfing, he mentions this as well, but like visualizing the process can often be beneficial as well. If I imagine that I am going to, using the example of tennis, hit a forehand a specific way, and have it like that graceful follow through, then I can simply imagine that. And what else am I doing though? I'm probably going to watch somebody. I'm probably going to watch some videos, watch some people that play, mimic their technique. And the example of this, of like your online business or going to this resort, well, yeah, let's say that using the example of an online business, well, I might visualize myself working on my business. If C is the outcome, that I'm going to be at this resort in Bali or wherever it is, on the beach somewhere, I might then imagine how happy my customers are, how happy the people that I am serving in my business are with my product or my service. I might imagine my steps to create that. I might imagine myself working at a coffee shop or working on my computer at my desk or on the couch or whatever I'm doing, brainstorming ideas, having these bursts of intuition that are giving me the new information, going through maybe like information or on YouTube or a course that is helping me improve my skills at developing this business, at developing this product or service. And I might do all of that because I think that just imagining that you're going to be in a house or in a beach resort, that can be cool. But I think that, at least for me personally, is where the logical mind comes in and says, well, how? And if I don't have any example of a B scenario that's going to get me there, my mind will fight with me. And if you're like me in that sense, I think maybe for some people, if this works, that's phenomenal. That's amazing. If you can just imagine that and I really like this technique here that they've used about a time machine, and you know that you're going to be there. I think if you can get that true feeling of knowing, then maybe you'll be able to do this without the B step. Maybe you really will be able to do that. Just from my own experience, I think that can be helpful because then it allows me to focus my energies on something, to have something that I'm working on that's building me towards this vision. At the very least, it assuages, or if that's the word, my logical mind, and allows me then to not get in my own way and be like, oh, well, it's how's it gonna work? It's not gonna happen. But I love this technique though, this time machine technique. I'm going to have to try this out. Imagine having a time machine that can transport you. You will be on a beach. You step out to find yourself on a beach. I'd love to try that and practice that for, let's say, a vacation is a great one. To imagine that I'm going to be on the Amalfi Coast, because that's been a goal of mine for quite a long time. I've been wanting to travel there. So imagine that I'm going to go there. Imagine that I'm going to be meeting up with other entrepreneurs or other people, that I'm going to be on a yacht there with some people, and that we're going to have like an amazing time. And knowing that will then also motivate and inspire me to work on my projects, to work on my business, to work on everything that I'm working on, because I know that future is there for me, waiting for me, if I do the work. So awesome technique. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Drop me a like, hit me with a subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.